So I understand that today kicks off National Drive Safely Work Week. Can you tell us what that means?
Yes, it's really a week that's set aside to raise awareness about uh, the number of crashes that occur as people are driving to work. So statistics show that 50% of all police-reported crashes occur during normal commuting hours, and Nationwide Insurance has found through our claims that Friday and Wednesday in particular are the most risky days.
Why do you think that is?
Well, Friday's probably an easy one to understand. People are anxious to get on with their weekend, and maybe they've gone out a little bit after work, and they're just not as focused on their driving on the way home as they should be.
Mm-hmm. And I understand that you have some body language that a vehicle would give off to indicate that you might want to avoid that car while you're driving. What would that be?
well, I think what the point is that as you're driving down the road, you should expect the unexpected, so that. Just because a car looks like it's going to stay in its lane or going to go one way or the other, people are distracted behind the wheel, and you have to really be focused on what they may do, regardless of whether they've put their blinker on or not. So I think it's just paying attention to everything that cars around you are doing, so that you can be prepared in case they do something that you didn't expect.
Now, is there something we can do? I know you just said Wednesday and Friday are sort of the most dangerous days. Is there something that a person can do to be more aware, like what you just said, being aware of the traffic around you? What else could people do to sort of help prevent things from happening?
Well, following distance is key, so make sure that you always leave about 3 or 4 seconds in distance between your vehicle and the one in front. Watch your own speed. People tend to maybe go 10 miles over the speed limit as a matter of course, but the faster you're driving, the less time you have you have to react to sudden moves by other drivers. And I think focus on your driving. No text message or email or phone call is important enough that it could cause you to hurt somebody else or hurt yourself.
I'm glad you brought up the text. I had a question about that. So what about GPS or those screens? A lot of cars have that informational screen. Is that a danger, or is that safe?
I think GPS is all right as long as it's giving you verbal directions and as long as you don't program it while you're driving. So if you pre-program it before you start down the road, it's certainly safer than the old method, which was either reading directions off of MapQuest or in the old days actually reading a map.
Trying to read a map while you're driving, yeah. That's true. Now, so over time, cars have improved in safety. We wear seatbelts now, and there's airbags and that kind of thing. Does that give people a false sense of security? Does that change how people drive?
I think it does maybe give them a false sense of security. I think the roads, for the most part, are better. The cars are easier to drive, and because of that, people tend to get distracted behind the wheel, whether it's using their cell phone or daydreaming or doing some other crazy things like shaving or putting their makeup on. So I do think that people have gotten a little complacent behind the wheel. But what they have to remember is that over 30,000 people a year die on our highways. So to prevent that from happening to you, you really need to be focused on your driving.
Absolutely. And one last question. How does weather sort of affect things?
Well, weather has an impact because it does create a stopping distance to be longer. So, if it is bad weather, instead of leaving a distance of maybe 3 to 4 seconds between you and the vehicle in front, you should double that. So obviously it's going to take you longer to stop. People could lose control of the vehicle, so really keeping track of what's going on around you and being focused on your driving is critical.
Awesome. Bill, tell us how we can find out more about you or about this week and where people can go to find out more information.
Okay, there's 2 places they can go. They can go to nationwide.com/driving safety tips, and they can also, to find more about Drive Safely Work Week, they can go to www.trafficsafety.org. That's the NET's website that's sponsoring Drive Safely Work Week.
Thank you so much. These were wonderful ideas and tips. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.